everyone, it's Lindy from Pink Whisper Designs. Today we're going to play with a brand new set from Art Impressions. It's the Woodland Critters. We're going to create these 3 cute little gift card pockets for the holidays. We'll start off with the gift card pocket die set. I just want to point out it has a few additional dies in there, the thank you, the butterfly, and a little bow that you can create. But we're just going to use this pocket die today. I've got some Heavystock Kraft cardstock, and we're going to be die cutting 2 parts. This first section will be for the entire gift card pocket, and that second piece we're going to die cut just a portion of this pocket, just that lower portion, to create a little card design. So I want to attach these 2 together to create a little gift card pocket card. So I'll show you that here in a second. So let's go ahead and die cut this lower section. Just the lower section is all we need. So I'm going to cut that. That will leave a little score line there that we can cut away. We don't need that excess. This will be the front of our card. So you can see that'll go right on the front. Let's start off by just folding on these score lines. So there's 3 score lines on the gift pocket. Just using my bone folder to press those out. And this would create your little gift card pocket. So you don't need to do anything else. You could just do this and decorate the other side of this. But I thought it would be fun to create a little card where we could sign, put a little note on the inside. I've got the gift card pocket. I'm lining it up on my mini scoreboard, and I'm going to score this top section at 1/4 of an inch. That will create the little fold for the top of our card. I'm going to fold that in towards myself, just like I did with those other 2 tabs. And now we can go ahead and glue all of this together. I've got the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I'll apply that to each of these tabs. And I'm just spreading that out with my finger just to make sure it goes right up to the edge of that crease. We can go ahead and press that in place. I do like to just press it out with the bone folder, and then I like to double check that my gift card will still move easily in and out of that pocket. And then we'll place some glue on this tab that we created with our score line, and we'll glue these 2 together, and that's going to create our little card design. So this is really easy to do. Just adds another little element to your gift card holder, and again we can sign the inside of that. So I've got all 3 of these done. And now let's go ahead and add some pretty pattern paper to these. I've selected 3 different ones, and I'm going to go ahead and run these through the die cutting machine. Now I'm just cutting that lower half again because this will be for the front flap of our card. So I don't need the whole pocket, just that front flap. And then I'm going to again trim away that excess right along that score line. Now that I have those, we can go ahead and glue those to the front of our pockets. I'm using again that same adhesive, and we'll glue all 3 of these in place. I just found it easier to create all 3 of these at the same time. It just went a lot faster. Just kind of mass producing these, and now I'll have plenty of these for the holidays. Now I want to do some pattern paper for the back of these pockets as well. So I'm just going to do this section of the die just like we did before, only I'm going to use the opposite side of the die this time, the side with that little notch in it, and we'll run those through. That again will create a score line that we will need to cut away, but it will give us that little half circle at the top, so it's going to fit perfectly on the back of our gift card. Just trimming away any excess where those score lines are. We don't need any of those tabs. And I'm just using my mini Tim Holtz paper trimmer to do this. And you can see those will fit right on the back. So I did that for the other 2. Let's go ahead and attach these together. And I decided to use the same pattern on both the front and the back of my gift card holders, but you could certainly mix that up and use the reverse side or select another pattern paper. This is the Woodland Critters set. It does come with the dies included, which is fantastic. And you get so many cute little images in this set. It was hard to decide, but I did select these three, and I'm stamping them onto some Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock, and we'll be coloring them with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush pen. So these are a water-based marker, and I'll be using the Zig Blender pen to do my blending, but you can use a water brush here if you prefer. I started off with the Sugared Almond Pink, Beige, and Mid Brown to do my coloring on my little critters. And all of the colors I'm using today will be listed in that upper left-hand corner as we're going along. So for the little bunny, I put some pink on the cheeks, and then I've got the beige, and I put a little bit of that mid-brown right along the edges, and we'll just pull that in. Now I will color all of the little critters the same way with the same beige and mid-brown. So I won't show you all of that. I'm just going to color this one little bunny in for you, but the other two critters will be the same color. I did also want to mention that Art Impressions has a bundle set. It's called the Winter Woodland Bundle Set. I will list and link that for you, as well as all the other products I'm using today down below, as well as on my blog. And that set does include, that bundle set includes the Woodland Critters set that we're using today. It also includes the portfolio template die set that I'll be showing you a little bit later on. We'll use 3 dies from that set today. And then there's a Woodland Bears set, the Winter Woodland Paper Pack, which is a double-sided 6x6-inch paper pad. Really pretty, some beautiful blues and greens, just some really gorgeous colors, some beiges. And then also includes the Winter Woodland Cover Paper Pack. And that paper pack is, I believe it's 5x7. And it is only patterned on one side. So it's perfect for creating your portfolios, which that portfolio template die set does create a beautiful portfolio. So I just thought I'd mention that. And like I said, it usually is at a discounted price, but you can certainly buy all of these sets individually as well. So I'm continuing to color in my little bunny, the little sweater, and then I thought I'd keep the scarf just in white, so I added a little light gray for a bit of shadowing. Now again, for the critters, I've colored those in off camera, and I'll show you that here in a second. And I'm pretty much repeating the colors that I've already used at this point. So I've got the same 2 greens, the same red that I used on that little candy cane. And then I added a little bit of shadow with that darker red. And I'll use those same 2 colors on this scarf. Now for some detail, we'll be using a gel pen. We'll actually use a couple different gel pens to create some really pretty accents to the scarves, some little polka dots, and to do some highlighting. So that's what's fun with these sets. You can really personalize them, really give them a lot of interest by adding some plaids, stripes, polka dots, whatever you like. For this little Critters hat, I thought I would do the band on it in the red rather than the usual white, and then I would do the main portion of the hat in the greens. And then for this scarf, I'll do those same 2 greens. And again, this set has these 3 little images, and then it has a little squirrel holding a little Christmas drink with a candy cane in it, a little owl, and that cute little deer with the ornament hanging off the antlers. And then there's the 2 little critters in the sled. So you could do a really fun scene with some of these others. And there's 2 sentiments. There's 4 little sentiments. Merry Christmas. We'll use that on the inside of our gift tags. There's the Winter Wonderland sentiment and the Deck the Halls sentiment. So we have a lot of options for the sentiments, which coordinate really well with the images that we're using today. Add just a little bit of yellow and orange to the flame on the candle. Now here's where I'm going to grab these gel pens, and I've got the red. I'm going to do some red polka dots on the red scarf. It won't show up a lot, but it does add this little bit of like a satiny texture to to the scarves, and here on the white one I'm going to add those same red polka dots, and you can really see them much better on there. And then I'm going to switch over to the white gel pen to add my highlights, and this will just make everything pop a little bit better. It just adds a little more interest. And on this scarf I'm going to add a little plaid design. So this is really fun and easy to do. And I have so many men and boys in my family that I like to create gift card holders that can be for either or, and I thought these would be great for men or women or children. So I think this set is really fun for creating your Christmas cards or these little gift card holders, or even the tags for your Christmas gifts. Since this does include the dies, I'm going to go ahead and attach those with some Post-it tape. I ran those through my Spellbinder Scout machine, and now we have those die cut. Now I'm going to stamp quite a few of these little holly and berry leaves. I'm going to kind of scatter these around my card, so I'm going to stamp maybe about a dozen of these, or I guess about 9 of these, and then I'm going to go back to the May green, the deep green, and that deep vermilion to color in these images. So I went ahead and did all the greenery off camera, but I did it all the exact same way, starting with the lighter green, adding a little bit of that darker green, and then I did the berries with that deep vermilion. I've got that same white gel pen, and I added a few highlights here and there. And now let's take a look at that portfolio template die set that I spoke about earlier. This has tons and tons of dies in it. I absolutely love it. It's got ornaments, it's got borders and a little pocket. It's got tags, snowflakes, hearts, everything. And it also has these 3 little designs that I'm going to use for my critters. But the main part of the portfolio template creates a portfolio. So it's really fun. There's lots of examples of that on the Art Impressions website, so you can always go over there or to the blog to check that out. Now, to color in or just add a little bit of shadowing around the edges of these, I'm using the Hero Arts Cup of Joe ink pad. This is just a dye ink, and I'm using a small blending brush, and I'll go around the edges of all 3 of those. So any beige or brown ink you have would be really pretty here. I'm going to go ahead and attach my critters, and I'm going to put this little guy on the ornament, and it will hang over just a little bit, so I'm just going to follow the line of that circle and cut that excess away. And then I'm going back to my blending brush and just finishing off those edges a little bit. We'll do the same thing with the little bunny. This one will go on this little design, and again, these 3 dies were from that set, and they're just so cute. They're great little labels. They can be used for any of your cards, and you know that I love using these portfolio die sets for a multitude of things. So I use all the elements of the die set to create all kinds of other designs for the borders, for the pockets. There's all kinds of fun elements. So again, I'm just cutting away any excess that hangs over the edges. And then with those extra little holly and berries that I did die cut using the die from that set, and I'm going to go ahead and attach one to each of these little panels. I'm just curling up the petals just a little bit for some dimension. And for the ornament, I'm going to add one at the top. A little bit later on, we'll be using a black permanent marker to create a little bit of ribbon. But first, I want to use my Doc P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink. I'm adding some to my glass medium mat, and we're going to spatter that onto all 3 of these panels. And then off camera, I did the back side once those were dry, and I also did the insides. Going back to that same Woodland Critters stamp set, I'm going to grab that Merry Christmas that I showed you earlier, and we'll go ahead and stamp that. I did separate the stamp, so I cut it in half and laid one over the other, but you certainly don't have to cut it in half. You can always just leave it connected and mask off each word separately. Going back to that same set, I'm going to use Deck the Halls at the very bottom of this first one. And then for each of these, I stamped a different sentiment. For the little ornament card, I stamped Winter Wonderland. And for the little bunny, I stamped Holly Jolly. And those are all from that same set. So I'll go ahead off camera and finish up that stamping. And then I've got some small foam, 3D foam squares. I've added those to the backs of each of these. So we'll pop these up on the front of our little gift card holders. I can go ahead and use my Cricut weeding tool just to remove that backing. And then we'll add that right to the top here. I'm just kind of centering it. And now you can see where we have those 3 sentiments on the front of these gift cards, which is really cute and just ties everything together. Now for this one, as I mentioned before, I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon. You could certainly use some real ribbon here, just glue that to the top. I just thought it'd be easy, quick and easy to use my black permanent marker. And then I'm going to add a little bow that same way. I like to just create a little figure 8 and then add a couple little tails. But again, you could add some ribbon here or some baker's twine would be really cute. And then I'll just remove the backing and attach this one as well. And then for the back side of each of my gift card pockets, right below that little notch that's created, I'm going to add the little holly and berry sprig, just to add a little dimension and interest to the back of these. And I'll also add one to the inside of each of our cards. So right above or below the Merry Christmas on the inside, you can add it. I couldn't decide whether to put it above or below, so I decided to show you both, and you can decide which one you like the best. For this one, I decided to put it right up top. And then for the other 2, I put it right below the Merry Christmas. So either way will work. You could even put it in the corners if you prefer. And let me give you a closer look at the finished gift cards. And I do think these little critters are just perfect for just about anyone, for kids, men or women. So it's a great way to add some images to your gift tags or your gift card holders. And these do stand up by themselves, so they will stand up like a regular card. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.